Let's go. And you hit the button. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the remote meth van edition, where we run this thing out of the back of an old station wagon covered in radio equipment, hoping to God that any of it works. Hi, I'm your one of your hosts on this journey through weird news and odd stuff, and just basically a brain full of marbles tonight. We're gonna try our best to bring you the latest and greatest non-crazy news from all over the planet. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a blast. I promise. You're going to have the greatest time you've ever had in your life. So buckle in, wipe the Cheetos off your sweatpants. Let's get down to business because this is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Hey, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen. I hope that the music is over, but I can't hear it. And so that's okay because we're good to go. I'm joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful Smashley, who's riding at the passenger side, leaning out the window, smoking a cigarette, hoping for the best. Hey, Smashy.
What is the purple screen of dork Twitch penis thing?
Do what?
How do you spell Arthur Dent? Arthur? Arthur! I don't like the name Arthur because I can't say it. Is it author or Arthur?
It's Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah.
How do you spell How do you spell Arthur Dent? A-R?
A-R-T-H-U-R. Yeah, Arthur. Not Author Dent. Author Dent is a very distinguished writer, though. I think that I've read some of his novels.
Arthur.
Russian Society.
Somebody Arthur. Yeah, yes, I like Hammer Dorks. Hammer
Dork. You just okay. So here's the thing, everybody. We're doing this show from a remote location. Both of us are at varying degrees of exhausted. Hey, Forging Winton, welcome to the Legion of Dorks. But both of us are sort of exhausted for different reasons.
So do you have pants on?
I mean, what is your mind to tell you? What is your imagination?
You have clothes on until 3 seconds before you enter the bed.
That is true.
That's how Steven says goodnight. I used to live with Steven and Stephanie.
I just go out and pull my pants down. Hope you have a good evening, everyone. I leave you with this.
I mean, like, that sounds so much funnier like that.
Okay. Don't worry about Steven. That's just a cultural thing.
That's it from Alabama. Well, okay. So the master, you go upstairs and there's a long hallway and there's 2 bedrooms. There's one bedroom here and then down at the other end is where I stayed. So master bedroom and then and so we'd all say goodnight. And then Stephanie and Steven, shit nuggets, would shut the door and Steven being like, pants are coming off. I'm like, night, Steven, love you. Night, Stephanie, love you. That's how I knew that they were like actually going to bed.
I forgot all about that.
Pants are coming off. Like that means, hey, don't come in to talk to your sister anymore.
Yeah.
It's bedtime.
Because I don't have pants on, and we both don't want that to be a thing. Like,
I really hate the name Arthur.
Don't name a dog or a kid Arthur, and you should be fine.
I hear it in my brain differently than when I say it out loud. It's like when I say it out loud, my tongue goes.
I think I'm gonna write my next short story for the Legion of Dorks anthology is going to be Arthur, the title character.
Was he the cowboy Red Dead Redemption?
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur. Maybe that's what I'm hearing in my head.
I just have a plan, Arthur. I just need money.
Arthur.
I love it. If next time my dad gets a horse, I'm gonna tell him to name it Dutch.
Dutch.
That's such a good name for a horse.
Dutch is such a good name for everything. Whoever came up with that name for that game is just high fives all around.
Yeah, and if you get 2 horses, you can name them Double Dutch.
Good show, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good having you. I'm tired.
Missed
Let's
you
go to bed.
guys.
Let's talk
Okay,
about butt plugs. Oh wait, no, you have a thing first.
you don't. You can't. No, you
You
can't.
no, you're about to say something. I don't want to take
I
away from your
don't
moment.
effing know. You led with butt plugs.
You never lead with butt plugs.
You
That comes
that
later.
is a conversation starter and stopper.
After you've developed some trust with your audience is when you can bring up butt plugs, but not until then. I didn't know
Okay.
what a butt plug. So let me for serious. This isn't going to shock anyone, but I didn't know what a butt plug was till I was like in my late 20s. Like
Till,
just
till I met
didn't know.
Ashley. Okay.
Well, until we started doing the show and my internet searching changed completely as I tried to find information to talk about. Research, they call it. But I didn't know what they were. And a long time ago, there was a thing called prank calls when you could call someone from a phone and call a store and say things to them. I don't know if people do that anymore. It's kind of old fashioned, but it's like ding dong ditch. Kids are like, that's stupid. I just hacked them and took their credit card.
I know,
Um,
like I hacked their ring.
yeah, I just spearfished that person. That was what I
Or
did.
fish.
Uh, but so there was a comedy thing on the internet. You go listen to these prank calls, and one of them, the person would get on the phone with a department store and just say the words "butt plugs" over and over again, "butt plugs," and they'd be like, "Excuse me, butt plugs," and they'd be like, I'm sorry, butt plugs. Let me transfer you," and they like transfer them to another department. Butt plugs.
Why would they
What?
transfer them?
Because I mean, they couldn't. They said it in kind of a mumbly way, like a
Butt
Post
plugs.
Malone album.
Butt
Butt
plugs.
plugs.
Butt plugs.
And so me and my friends did the same thing to Walmart. You star 67 and then you dialed the number so that it would private your number. And I know my mom listened to this show, so she probably had no idea what we were getting up to in my room. But we'd call these places and just say butt plugs over and over. I had no idea that that was an actual thing that you put up your butt. I thought it was just silly words. No idea. So bingo cards for Steven is naive. Because I
Oh
think,
my god! Yeah,
yeah,
Hammer, she knew.
she knew. Moms know everything. They just some things they just like, you know what? As long as the police don't show up, this is probably fine.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, like we honestly, if your kids are calling like prank calling places, but they're not out getting drunk and doing drugs, let them call the places. They got to get these things out somewhere, and it's relatively harmless for them to do that.
We used to crank call on phone or on payphones.
Oh, payphones would have been way smarter than your actual house when caller ID existed.
So, well, we also did that. Mark and I used to, I don't know, we thought we were funny, so we did it to everybody. And one night he was staying the night and we called this lady and we asked, it was 3 in the morning, and we asked if we could borrow a cup of sugar. That was our crank call. It's like, hey, can we borrow a cup of sugar? It's our anniversary. And me, I'm just like, well, it's my husband's anniversary tomorrow. And I wanted to surprise him. And she's like, well, honey, it was supposed to be something about a cow named Bessie, but it ended up me having a conversation. Anyway, the woman called my mother back later, and Mark and I were both there, and she called us into the bedroom, and she started talking to us. She's like, "Did you call?" Da, da, da," and we're like, "Oh, yeah." And she's like, "Well, she found out your dad's a doctor, and she's suing us for." She's like, an ton of money, and Mark and I are like, she's like, "Your dad's business can't afford this," and yada yada yada. Just had us effing terrified. And she's like, "I'm kidding. Stop crank calling people, you idiots."
Your mom. Your mom is ruthless.
Butthole.
Yeah, she's the butthole. You're calling people at 3 a.m. about sugar, and she's the butthole.
Right? Thank you.
The-
I'm glad that you're on my
yeah,
side. Jerk.
yeah, that makes sense. That's good. Your mom knows you because your mom and you are remarkably alike.
Yeah,
She's
we're both
just
about
gotten to an age where she can hide her stuff from everyone, but maybe you and Stephanie in a text message every now and then. Then you're
yeah.
like, I just got a glimpse of you. I know you,
She
you
does shit.
brat.
I'm like, oh my god, am I that bad? Like,
Yes.
is this me on a bad day or a good day?
Yes, you are this bad, and it's just baseline. Just accept it. Be the
Alright.
authentic you. That's what I'm after. The authentic self. You just
I
might be
don't understand how
authentically a
people
beehole.
I've never understood why that was so Sam, we went over to your house today and just hung out because mom and I are like, fuck our lives in particular. And these couches look different than our couches. So, okay, what the hell else are you gonna do in a pandemic besides visit someone else's house? So, Sam has a book upstairs, like 7 uh, things every child needs to know for a perfect child. I don't know what it,
Oh, the
but the
7 habits. The 7
yes, that.
habits. That's
And
the
one of
7
them was
habits
be
of highly
yourself.
effective people. Yeah.
Yes. So I started reading it because my child took it, picked it up, came and sat himself on my lap, and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so cute. I'm not gonna eat you today." And I
Yet.
started reading it, and I'm like, "This is dumb. How do you not?" Because I've never understood how not to be me.
Yeah.
I'm just varying degrees of like happy me, angry me. I don't give a fuck. I hope everyone dies me.
Sure. I mean, I know that about you because when we go places, I take you anywhere. You just start talking to people like you've known them your whole life, talking about friends of yours by name, and I'm like, "They don't have a clue who Teddy is."
I
And
don't
you'd be
give a
like, "Me
shit.
and
I
Teddy
just,
used to go da ba da ba da." I'm like, "You just met this is the waiter. They don't
I
know who
just
Teddy is."
I just needed on Jacob today. I was trying desperately to tell him a story and he didn't give two shits. He wasn't listening. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to finish my fucking story. I just kept talking and I could just tell like he just wasn't listening and he was wrangling all this and I'm like, don't don't care. Zero. And then mom today, she's like, Ashley, I'm no, it was when you guys were packing. Stephanie was like, she's like, Tuckies, I'm not ignoring you. I'm like, I don't care if you are. You're
Yeah.
someone different to talk to. She's like, well, you're right, because I have to be here packing.
I do that to Stephanie. I'll tell that I shouldn't tell her the story now. We were riding in the car home, and I wanted to talk about something philosophical while Sam's in the back going, "I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I'm so." We're like, we have food in the car. Like we're going home to eat it. We are 5 minutes away. My tummy hurts. My tummy hurts for everything. We got you food, Sam. What food is it? It's chicken nuggets for sure. I can't eat those. I'm not hungry for those.
Oh, Lord.
I will eat you. How about that? How about that? You will eat it and you'll like it. He ate it. But it's just bratty. But I was gonna talk to Stephanie about something and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this to you. I'm just not. I can hold this in. I don't have to tell this story. It's not that valuable. It just crossed my mind, and when it crosses my mind, it comes out of my mouth. Um, and I'm gonna not do that to you today. I'll tell Ashley my story tonight. And now naturally, I don't know what that story is, and
Oh,
you will not hear it. But it
oh,
sure sounded good in my head while I was thinking about it in the car on the way home. The good news for people that go around you and I is if you spend even a couple minutes distracting us from the thing we were going to say, we won't remember to say it
gone.
anymore. Yeah, just bloop right out there. So we both have to say the thing immediately. But no, you and I are in the same spot. If you would have been able to listen to Staring at Goats last night, which I don't want to rub salt in the wounds or anything, but you would have heard a really good option for both you and I in getting through this pandemic together. Would you like me to share it with you?
Yes, dear God, yes.
It's that at 4:30 p.m. I get off work. I want to go downstairs, but when I go downstairs, I get assaulted by one small human. And then when I try to talk to the other human, she's like rolling around on the floor because she's been assaulted by the smaller human almost all day. And I'm like, well, I can't share any of this with you because
And
you're
you don't care.
you are mentally tapped out. He doesn't care what I say. So it was proposed by Jacob that you and I just call each other at 4:30 every day and
Yes.
just talk for 10 minutes. Just
Yes.
everything that we want to think we've thought about saying all day, we say it and then we go, "Okay, I'm done. I can move
That's
on now."
yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Approved?
Improved. Stamped.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Standing meeting, yes.
We have a standing meeting to discuss the business of the day with one another. That
So
business being nonsense, but still important.
What's the episode of The Office where like 0 days since nonsense happened or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what? So okay, I took a video. Speaking of things I've been dying to tell somebody and nobody gave a shit.
yeah.
I sent mom and dad a video of the baby. He's got this like it's like a wooden cart with with wooden blocks in it, and he found out if he stood up next to it he could walk. And I was taking a video of it because I thought it was freaking adorable. So my dad has always told us you have to cross creep, you have to crawl, you can't walk before you crawl, da 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 da. Like super annoying, super annoying. And so I sent the video to mom and dad, and mom immediately texts me back and said, "Your dad's upset. You can't let him do that, yada, yada, yada." I'm like, motherfucker. Like, every bleeping thing I do, you have something. So I took to the internet and I'm like, I'm like, oh, shit, he's right. Like, tons of studies. Canada doesn't sell walkers. Like, they are banned in Canada, but in capitalism are us, we still sell them. And even though like the age range of kids that use walker, 80%, 80% of ER visits are because of walkers. And like it screws up like they test poorly on like a bunch of other tests where babies haven't used walkers, and it just blew my mind, all this data, just like stuff. And like people from Harvard are coming out like, I don't understand why they're still allowed here, don't buy them, they're trash, they mess up everything, right? I'm like, why don't we know this? Like, why don't parents know this? So I shared it with my sittering group, and they're like, oh, I'm sure 10 minutes every day is fine. I'm like, I literally just sent you a fucking article that said four minutes a day equates to this. And it's just, it's crap. It's bad things, right? And I'm like, d- d- why? Like, why are we so entrenched in like parenting and everything and what we believe that you won't look at a set of data and be like, okay, maybe just because I want this to be true, or maybe just because I do this, does it? I mean, you can be wrong. I was wrong. Like you're allowed to be wrong, but then you fix it. Like, and then everybody's like, "Well, I'm just doing my best, and I just want best." Like, fuck your best. Your best would be reading the information set in front of you and making a better decision, not going blah 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 blah. It's driving me nuts. Like, I hate everybody right now. I don't understand. I have zero. Okay, I've been yelling.
So what you're saying is that you want
Yes, no.
people you want people to read a set of facts and then act on those facts or studies?
It's
Well, here, okay. So let me
doesn't
play.
have
Let me be the devil for a minute, or the devil's advocate. Let me. Yeah, I don't want to be the devil. That sounds too intense. I'll just advocate for the devil for him. I don't want to advocate for. You know, what, screw the devil. Let's leave the devil out of this. He has enough going on. What I want to do is say, dang on it. Now I got lost in the thing I was thinking on.
I saw it. You're like, if I keep digging, I'll find it. Nope.
No, yep, no, no, no. I did have a thing. It was about facts, and it was about figure. Oh, here it is. It's about eggs and bacon. It's all. This is why people get fussy over data, because eggs and bacon are bad for you
Yes.
in 2015.
Yes.
Then in 2016, eggs and bacon are good for you again. And then in 2017, eggs and bacon are bad for you. And then in 2018, eggs are bad, but bacon is good for testosterone. And then in 2018, you can't eat anything because it's all got plastic in it.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, what the F am I supposed to do? Like, what do I believe? At some point, people just start rationalizing.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, well, I already have the walker. I was on a walker and I walked fine because everybody personalizes
Yes.
everything.
Yeah. It's all anecdotal
It's
at
all,
some
did
point.
I do it? Well, if I did it, it's fine. That guy got COVID and he can breathe. But this other person got COVID and can't breathe. But they're not that guy. That guy had a more positive outcome. So
My
that
my
guy,
80-year-old grandpa smoked his entire life and didn't have lung cancer.
Right, yes, yes. It's my dad's theory that his uncle Lester was the brother that lived the longest, and he was the one that smoked and drank.
Yes.
Well, if Uncle Lester lived that long, then maybe I'll live that long.
Yes.
I'll just do this, and all the pious brothers died at 60.
The Pyres Red. I think honestly it just comes down to, and this was my secondary rant that I made Jacob listen to because he had to, because he was bathing the child while I took a shower, and I'm like, neither one of you can go anywhere. So
You're trapped.
yes. Um was it's capitalism. Like, we want to sell you things, or we don't want to sell you things, or we want you to sell you different things. So
Advertising.
I
Why do
I
you think
essentially that's what it comes down to. It's like, who, like, and I know that there is an argument for, just because someone supplied the funds for research doesn't make it biased. However, at one point during a presidency, there were president friendly scientists and not president friendly scientists. And I'm like, you can't, it's just it is this or it is that. It is
so?
not.
What's our proposal? Commune?
How can you be an anarchist? What is an anarchist and a socialist? What is
An
that?
anarcho-socialist.
An ancros
There
singular?
are like anarcho-capitalists. So
I
there
don't
has to be an
Fuck
anarcho.
capitalism right up its butt with the biggest butt plug you can find without using spacers to build up to it. Like,
I
just
what? Okay, well, good. You brought it full circle back to butt plug, so I don't have to battle capitalism versus communism versus socialism on a. You know, and the funny thing about this is, I think that any one of those things is probably fine on a micro level. Like if you're like a commune of 300, 400, 500 people,
yes.
you could
Yes.
probably communist pretty well at
Yes.
500 people. You can't communist very well at millions of people. Now
No.
our channel gets banned by McCarthyists. But well, you could probably do that, and you could probably even capitalist at 500 people because you'd have enough people that were small enough to be like, "F you and your product that sucks," and people would stop buying it because it's a small community.
Right.
But once you get up to like macro level, everything's harder. Like every establishing guidelines and planning and funding and all this stuff, everything gets way more difficult. And then
It's
it
so
gets way more
shady.
shady because you have more people diving in to go, well, hey, can you carve off a bit of that economic system for me? And they're
Yes.
like, sure, will you pad my pockets later? And they go, sure. And then that's how it works. I mean, the whole Texas
And now
event
we have
last week is the
Instagram
same.
and social influence. Social influences. No.
I want to be an
No.
influencer. I'm an influencer, yo.
I'm
I'm
gonna
an influencer.
influence y'all people to read an article and not go, well, blah 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 uses the walker 10 minutes a day and I'm sure he's fine. I'm like,
It's so hard because there's areas where like that you have to there's belief that can or can't be proven, and then there's belief that can or can be proven, and people tend to twist them together. So there's that. Look, I have a belief that can't be proven, can't be disproven, but it's just near and dear to me.
yeah.
Uh, and until they produce a body, I'm pretty much sold on it. But there's other beliefs
Wait,
that's
are you
like,
talking about Jesus?
yeah, I'm talking about Jesus.
I don't think
Uh,
they can find Jesus's body now.
well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to talk me out of that
Sure.
for personal reasons. But you can talk me out of bouncy houses if bouncy houses are like, you
Oh,
know,
bouncy
if people, nah,
houses.
but bouncy houses are fun. So even if you get
Steven's
hurt,
working an invisible Rubik's Cube. Oh,
that's what
shade.
I do when I'm casting a spell. I'm just trying to work my
Ball.
way
This
through
is
this.
sign language for ball, by the way.
Oh, good. Play with your balls. That's what I'm trying to say. I have a belief that you should play with your balls. It's good for you. Uh, Bouncy house is a bad one because those are fun and dangerous. And if it's fun and dangerous, who
That's
cares?
okay.
And you can
Yeah.
make a choice. But like when you're talking about exposing your children to the dangers of walkers, it's like, well, maybe you should look at those facts because like I was telling Jacob last night, our job as parents, the only thing, the mandate we've been given is to take care of our children the best way we know how. And if we now know not to do that, we don't do that.
At least like I think I think I'm sick of the everybody's just doing the best they can.
Sure.
And I'm like, cause that's just fault. Like that's just something you say now because that's not true. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're saying that your best isn't really the best.
Not if you're disregarding it's the best that I
Th-
am willing to do given my comfort level. But that
Or
doesn't fit on a shirt.
or in your circuit, the best that I'm doing the best that I can under the circumstances that I'm dealt. Because I would argue that this pandemic has pushed me to doing the very best that I can with the things I've been dealt because this pandemic's balls. Otherwise, I would be doing things completely differently in a lot of areas.
Well, I don't think
You
the
know?
circumstances matter because the best that you can do is under whatever circumstances you're under, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like
So
I
you're
think
saying that's
that's
default. That's
built in.
implied. That's
Yes.
implied.
Yeah, it's implied like whatever circumstances you're under, the best that you can do. But if you're given situations or extraneous information that challenge your comfort level with the best that you're doing and you choose not to act on it, you're no longer doing the best that you could do. You're doing the most
What you
comfortable.
want to do.
Yeah.
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 The best see, I never can do the best that I can do because the best I can do is always better than I'm doing.
Yes.
Always. And this is why Stephanie keeps telling me to go to counseling because
Yeah.
the best I can do is always less than the best I think I should do. And it's
Steven and I will never be the best at what we can do because we think we're garbage.
constant failure,
Yes.
constant,
We let
never living
everyone
up.
down. We let ourselves down. Why do we get up in the morning?
Why do I
We're
bother?
dumb.
Why do I bother?
Yeah.
I'm trying to all the best I can do is just get on the internet and talk about things like this because everywhere else I'm an absolute failure. And I look at this, I go, my job has literally promoted me twice and given me extra responsibility, and I'm like, I suck at this. I suck at this. It'd be so much better than I'm being right now, and I'm not good at the places because I just don't care about these things. But then they keep giving me new stuff and going, "You're doing great." I'm like, "But you don't understand the degree to which I don't care about this particular thing that you're making me do that I somehow am squeaking by over." That happens, not with everything. Obviously, I care about what I do in a large scope. There are certain tiny things I'm just like, doesn't make any sense to me.
I think Stephanie is right, and especially after the last 13 months, we all need I mean, okay, so who do the counselors and the psychiatrists, the psychologists go to when they need to talk to somebody? Because I feel like HG, how are you doing now that there's more crap being dumped upon you?
I forget that I actually work with people in the
Jack
chat when I
Daniels.
say this stuff.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you
That's
know,
good.
someone from work's gonna hear this, Steven.
They know. That's fine. It's open. It's open. Everyone's open. That's the key word. Uh, no, yeah, they go to a different office. Jack Daniels. Yeah, who did your dad go get his eyes checked by? You go to the guy that the optometrist wants to have his eyes checked by. So you go to the therapist that your therapy person wants to get their therapy person. What do you call that
Therapy
person?
person,
Yeah,
HG.
counselor. I,
HG, now your new shirts instead of the Gene pulled chickens hours. I'm gonna get a shirt.
I want his shirt.
I should,
I should
I
purchase
want
it.
to do a lot of things. I'm like, I'm gonna get a chance to go, and the sale is gonna be over, and I'm gonna mark out Gene Pool Variety Hour, and I'm just gonna like stencil in an orange chicken.
I love it.
I
Hey, should
like
we go back to talking about butt plugs now that we've been through everything else that now that we've struck nerves on
Is
both of
there a
our old
reason that
struggles?
you're on butt plugs right now?
Have you read the I'm not on butt plugs. Let's rephrase.
Is that the notes?
Yeah, that's in the note.
Oh.
It's episode 542. I'm
Oh,
correct.
okay. So Steven, producer Jacob just popped in my ear and said, I'm ahead since we ended up missing last week. And that there are so we talked about butt plugs quite extensively in the chat
Yeah,
last week, was it
I caught
guys?
up with that. Yeah,
It was so great. We decided to have a show in Discord because
because we couldn't have one in real life,
we're
so
all losing our friggin'
we
minds.
needed each other.
Texas
Yeah,
was under 6 feet of snow. Nobody had power.
we were at the ER.
You guys were at the ER and I couldn't tell anybody. And I'm just like, they're like, oh, come on, let's do a show. And I'm like, I can't tell anybody things.
Yeah, so we were in the ER because I can tell it now. We were
Yes.
eating dinner. Sam started just like flipping out about not being able to breathe and have it. And we were like, oh, shoot, is he allergic to something? Like, what is going on? He wouldn't put down his water bottle. He was constantly drinking. We gave him asthma. His asthma medicine didn't help. So we took him to the hospital because, I mean, we thought allergic reaction. He needs an EpiPen or so. We're like, what the crap? So we
Hmm.
take him not breathing, and then we get him there, and he still won't stop drinking his water. They check everything. He's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with him. Long story short, he choked on a French fry, and none of us realized this because we were watching Tom and Jerry cartoons, and
Oh, Lord.
we always eat quietly. And then I heard him be like hack up something. I'm like, dude, are you okay? He's like, yeah, couldn't swallow my food. And I'm like, oh, okay. What he means is he couldn't breathe and he was choking, and I didn't
That
know.
is terrifying that he was just dying silently beside you to
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry.
yeah, because I'm like laughing because 2 seconds before that we were just laughing watching Tom and Jerry. You just didn't know what was going on. So anyway, long story short, panic attack happens. He starts worrying about whether he can ever eat again. All this like needs to drink water to swallow is just a mess. He fell asleep sipping a water bottle.
Oh.
It was awful. It was awful, and it's still awful. He now will not eat without water with him. So he has to eat a little, swallow food, eat a little, swallow food. Like it's got him all messed up. So anyway, we're working through that now. But so that's good.
That's
But he
fun
can eat.
to have that heaped upon you during this very easy
I
last
know,
few
right?
weeks.
It's great.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, Sam, you can eat that food. Well, I don't have my water. Sam, you've been eating apples for a million years. Like you can do this. You can swallow the apple. I can't eat that apple. So it's just
We
been a
just
nasty time.
see, okay, maybe I am on board with the commune. Like, let's
Now,
like, you guys are the only people I like.
this community is what's keeping me afloat right now.
I'm
It's
not
all
like Steven says that, I don't think we're joking,
no,
like,
no, we're not.
if we didn't have the show there and I like, I was yeah, coming into tonight, I was unhappy. I'm like, I have not had an evening. I literally wake up to the baby. I go to bed with the baby after spending hours with the baby trying to get him to stay in bed while I shovel down food as fast as I can, go brush my teeth, and then go lay down on an exorbitantly uncomfortable mattress and then stay up all night nursing the baby because he's been like going through a growth spurt. I'm like, I can't. I just can't. And I was just like, I just want to go to bed. I want to go to lay down. He's gonna wake up. It's gonna be awful. And then I got in here and I'm like, oh, it's okay
You like take a big breath. Oh, my
now. So we haven't
people.
done the show in 2 weeks. Maybe that's what's wrong with us.
Yeah, I think that's you might be correct. You might be correct. My life spiraled out of control that 2 weeks ago when we both decided that we just had it for the day and we
Yes.
couldn't do one. And
Yeah.
I have not been able to get back on it since. I'm just like grasping for things that I can hold on to that keep the world in
I
a
think
right
we
place.
just need to this is like our outstanding therapy session. And if we don't do it, be like, I don't give a crap if your junk's on fire. Just show up in your Arthur Dent. Arthur!
Dude, they're so
Arthur! Your
Arthur
name is
did.
Arthur, I apologize. I feel like aliens, like, lick my brain every time I say it.
I've only ever met one Arthur, and he was a blogger guy who randomly found my blog through some sort of like you remember those blog sharing things where you'd like click a button, it would take you to a new blog, and the more blogs
Yes.
you search, the more you would pop up
Yes.
with other people's. What was that blog chain or something? But it was a dude I actually found and built a slight relationship with through our comment sections on each other's blogs. His name was Arthur. He was
That's
cool.
beautiful.
He talked
What?
about his friend wiping his wiener after he peed. I remember that being in a blog post. It's really funny.
Like, she just came in the bathroom and, like, dabbed for him?
No, he did it himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a dabber, which we all found peculiar because I've never known a dude to do that. If that's your jam, that's fine.
By the way, I used your, anal jet propulsion device. Anal
Oh yeah, good. What are we
day.
talking about?
Day.
Bidet. Like, wait, where are we going with this? I'm gonna agree, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're like, "Oh, yeah, that's the oh, yeah" Steven uses when we're at cons, and we've been talking to people all day, and we get, like, accosted by, like, the one you guys know, like,
You
just
know,
just
you
a
know.
little, like, you're like, "Oh my god, okay." Then Steven's like, "Oh, yeah." Let
Like,
me help
how do we get
let me
out of
help
here?
you.
I have diarrhea. I have to
Steven,
leave.
we got a panel. Come on, bro.
We
Oh,
both
I'm so
got.
I'd love to stay in chat, but I bye.
I want to stay in chat, but Ashley and I both have diarrhea, so we have to go. Sorry.
I got it on my glasses.
Oh, she said. In the late 19th century, butt plugs, formerly known as rectal dilators, were developed to cure insanity and used to treat headaches, insomnia, acne, and constipation. That's awesome.
And
They were
that's
called rectal dilators.
yeah, we looked up some fun pictures.
I mean, I don't get the acne, insomnia, or headaches part, but the constipation makes sense. You know, you open it up a little, let stuff come out of there.
Need more flaxseed. Yeah, I don't understand. Like,
I have eaten poorly while on vacation, and my body has reminded me that it's a bad idea
yeah.
daily. It's like,
Maybe
hey,
so maybe if the butt plug released blockage, that could fix acne because you do get breakouts if you're stopped up because your body starts trying to get rid of crap elsewise.
really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a lot of constipation problems, uh, but if I eat pizza, that crap comes out of my face. That's truth. Only little Stephanie says it's nonsense, but I say no. If I have a piece of pizza, I'll get a zit right here on the tippy tip of my nose. And
Stephanie
every time
finally admitted you were right the other day. She's like, I thought he was full of crap, but we had pizza. And the next day he got a pimple on his nose. And I was
she'll
like,
never tell me.
no, she did tell me though. So, and
She'll
I'll tell
never
you.
tell me. Ha ha ha! I'm right. Take that. I heard once they say, "Well, do you want to be right or married?"
That's beautiful.
It's true. Hey,
Oh,
Jacob, can you
PH,
hit the world?
we did
Oh,
we did a story once on constipation where a dude stuck an eel up his butt to help get rid of it.
whew. Yeah, that was a thing.
And then he had
Can we
to
do
go to the
the world?
hospital for constipation and an eel.
Can we do the world news?
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, I heard it. Thank you, Jacob. I love this disembodied Jacob voice in my ears that no one else can hear.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
We just like stare puzzledly for a moment. Puzzledly.
That's my favorite. So, Forging Witten, that's welcome to the show. This is our meth van edition where nothing we do is exactly like it's been done ever in the history of
No.
the show. So this
This
is this
is
is abnormal.
I
But at the
normally
same
care
time,
more.
well, I think an apathetic show from time to time is pretty good. Like we've been doing this show for probably 45 minutes and we're just now getting to world news. So
What happened to our half? It's 10 o'clock, Steven.
I know, I want to go to bed. Shut up, let me read the story. Ukrainian man invents murder to get police to clear snow from his road. I
Wow.
had to tell some people at work about this because they've been dealing with a lot of snow. A Ukrainian man has reported a fictitious murder to police in the hope that they would clear snow from his road when they came to arrest him. The man called police on Saturday night to tell them he had killed his mother's partner by stabbing him. He said the victim showed no signs of life. Yulia Kuvtin, spokesman for the Chernihiv police, said on Monday. The man also advised police to bring a snowplow because it was not possible to reach his house otherwise. Law enforcement officers were, however, able to reach the property in the small village of Girbova Rudinia in northwestern Ukraine using an all terrain vehicle. The alleged victim was safe and sound and no one had attacked him. The road in question had been cleared of snow in the morning, according to local authorities, but the man said he was unhappy with the work and hoped the police would finish the job. The suspect has admitted to making the false call and faces a fine of up to 119 Hervinias. That is not what that word says, but $4.27 for an improper appeal. Ukraine has recorded record snowfalls in recent days, with more than 50 centimeters falling across the region. For Americans, that's a lot. 50 centimeters. That's pretty tall.
That's
That's a
not like
pretty
two
tall order.
feet.
Oh no, it's hard to say. Uh, what was I gonna say about this $4.27?
It's hard
Oh,
to say.
I read a thing. I read a thing. I read a thing the other day, and it was quite poignant in that it said uh, laws with hefty fines, with fines and no jail time, are only laws for poor people. And
Oh.
I was like, oh snap. Yeah, like if you got, I mean, it's like a late charge at Blockbuster. For some people, that's a big deal. For other people, they're like, I am not racing to Blockbuster at 11 o'clock at night to return a movie.
Nope.
Yeah. I
That was
remember
I
my
read
mom. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I remember going to Blockbuster once with my mom. We were returning a movie that we missed it by like a day, and you had to pay for like a whole nother week or a whole nother 5 days. The late fee was actually just a re-rental. They don't tell you that, but it was a re-rental, and
So why don't you just
we
keep it?
yeah, exactly. You might as well just keep it for the next week. So you turned it in, and the guy was like, "Well, you have a late fee on it." Mom was like, "Ah, I think y'all should just do away with this whole time thing." So we sit there, and I was like, "Mama, you have to bring the movie back." And so what do you want them to do? You want them to just go, "Oh no, you just keep it forever. We'll be like the library." She was so annoyed.
I love that I can see your mom totally. I feel like your mom has to be real pissed to do the talkbacks.
She has to feel very, very like hoodwinked, bamboozled to
Put
let
up
somebody
on.
have it. Yeah, she has to feel very out of place, like somebody's really got one over on her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's just like, "Oh, that's fine. It's not worth the fight." The late charges of block. I remember Landon had late charge of Blockbuster on his card, and he didn't go for years because he didn't want to pay it. Like, and it was, I think it was, he thought it was this extreme amount of money. And then he finally went back after like 5 years. I was like, what's the late charge on this card? And they're like, oh, whatever it was, it's not there anymore. It must have got wiped out. And he's like, yes,
Are you
because he
douchebag?
would make me rent stuff for him. Like, use your card because mine's got a late charge on it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, small town news.
Damn, Jacob, you good, dude.
Producer Jacob knows what's up.
You're real good. An 8-year-old border collie named Lulu is inheriting a $5 million trust.
Nice. Can I have it instead? Because I'm a human.
Can we not give a dog $5 million? Can we be better? No, we can't. People are trash. People are garbage. If I was God, I would have flooded the world 50 more times. I'd have been like, you know that rainbow? You don't deserve a rainbow. Here's a flood, and here's another flood, and here's a flood on top of your flood. I hope you brought your scuba gear, bitches.
You don't get a rainbow anymore.
Just
To burn you
no.
down.
A Nashville dog named Lulu is a newly minted millionaire. I hope you get ran over. And I like dogs, but F you and your family. I should probably finish reading this. Her owner, who was a dirty skank, last will and testament has made the 8-year-old border collie one wildly pampered pooch. That's cool. There's children that have literally been starving this year because they couldn't go to school and get the one meal a day that they were afforded at school. But you enjoy pampering your bitch Lulu with $5 million.
I'd like to point out that Ashley used that word properly, so the swear jar should not increment.
Suck it,
Okay.
sub.
Thanks.
I
Thanks.
actually
Just
texted sub and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I ignored his his text messages because I forgot I texted him until just now.
Sounds about right.
Yep. The will specifies, quote, this trust is to provide for all the needs of Lulu. The dog will remain in possession of Martha Burton, period. Lulu's owner, 83-year-old Bill Doris. I apologize. I thought you were a woman.
I mean, it could still be a woman. You don't know.
Bill's a douche. 83-year-old Bill Doris was Burton's friend and an unmarried successful businessman. Wait. Oh, okay. He died late last year and left $5 million for the care of his beloved pet. I don't really know what to think about it, to tell you the truth. He just really loved the dog, Burton said. The estate is currently in probate. It is not yet clear how much it's worth. The will does state, however, that Burton will simply be reimbursed for reasonable monthly expenses to care for Lulu. That bitch needs a yacht and a trip to Tahiti. And you need me to have my nails done too? Okay. It's not clear what will happen to any money left in the trust when the 8-year-old Lulu someday passes away, gets hit by a truck, or God smites him with a third plague. Burton knows there's no way she could ever spend $5 million on the canine. Not even a lifetime supply of treats and toys for Lulu could make a dent for the incredible inheritance. She says with a smile, well, I'd like to try.
Oh, they're just things you don't. I don't understand. Like you said, there are people in America going hungry, and a dog just inherited $5 million. Now it's in probate. I don't know. Can you will stuff to a dog? Who we got any probate lawyers around? Estate handlers in the chat? Tell me whether this is actually even a thing you can do.
I just like people literally just died in Texas.
It's kind of like I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their money, but I'm allowed to be disappointed at you when you spend it foolishly. I think that's fair, right?
Uh-huh.
I
I
mean,
don't even disappointed.
look,
Like disappointed implies that like we had hope. I don't even think we have hope. We're just annoyed at this point. Like,
it's look, I am sitting in a beach house on North Carolina coast because I just needed to escape my home. So I'm not like the poster child for not using money for personal gain.
Steven, did
So
that beach house cost $5 million?
not nearly, not
Okay.
nearly, not
Okay.
not nearly. Every now and then you get a little boost, and it's this time I used the little boost that I got and was like, "F it, I'm gonna pretend I didn't even get that little boost, and we're going to the beach." How about that?
He's talking about when he does tricks on the weekend. Sometimes he gets a Big John.
You know it. You know it. See that wink? That's what I'm talking about.
Steven would make the worst hooker. I just imagine him like kind of dressed half in drag, walking up, be like,
Hey,
like
you want to like do some business? You want to exchange information? Like this crazy Forrest Whitaker looking guy is just making this eyeball at me.
oh, I snorted.
Oh gosh, no, I'd be a terrible hooker. I'd just be like, "Are we gonna get in trouble for this?"
I
I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. Maybe we should. Never mind. Never mind. This is a
feel
terrible
like
idea.
the chair you're in, like that's if you went to a hotel as a hooker, that's the bed sheets.
What? You found me out? Oh no! This chair is so stupid. Did I tell you I spent the whole week I was working from here, like Monday through Wednesday, and I spent the whole week using the garbage Wi-Fi trying to stay connected to everything and having to reconnect to my VPN every 30 minutes,
Ugh.
only to find that there actually is an internet jack around here that I can hardwire into. It's just all the way upstairs in the master bedroom. So I have a 50-foot Ethernet cable hanging down the stairs, out the bedroom door, down the hall, down the stairs, into this room. It barely makes it. Or I'd be sitting over there by the window, comfortable. But I
That
couldn't
makes
get I
wait,
can't
wait,
get
can
it.
you get out the window? Like, why don't you just stick the cord out the window?
Oh, that would have been a genius. That would have gone straight to where I need it. Well, now I don't need it because I'm not doing any more shows. and I don't really need to be on the internet for any reason for the next 2 days.
Aren't you working Friday?
Son of a gun. No, no, I got a free day off, so I'm taking it.
See, you should call me for all your like improbable problem
Should. Well, I didn't
things.
expect you to just, come out of nowhere with the most logical solution, because that would have
That's
been the
not
shortest path.
logical. That's real silly. And most
No, it's the shortest path to this room is out the window upstairs down to this window,
you're welcome.
and I went all the way around. I feel so stupid now. You know what? Let's just move on. News better
Next
left
time, invite me to the
untold.
beach.
Man rushed to hospital. I will invite you to the beach next time.
Thank
Look,
you.
I needed the great escape, like Steve McQueen on a motorcycle breaking out of jail. Great escape. Not
Yeah.
that I don't love everybody. I just wanted to go and be like alone. And I sat on the beach and I stared at the water and I thought about how life should be. And then I came back inside to more chaos. Well, it was a flash. It was a flash in the pan. Man rushed to hospital after he put ring on penis to make it bigger to impress his girlfriend for Valentine's Day.
Wait, what?
He put a penis ring on his penis
Oh
to
lord.
make it bigger. A man was left with uncontrollable pain after he tried to enlarge his penis with a metal ring he wanted to impress his girlfriend with on Valentine's Day. The man from Bangkok, Thailand, oh boy, that's a situation, believed that putting his genitals through a nut would enlarge it and strengthen it by forcing blood into the glands. He used baby
Oh,
oil to slide the ring through his penis? Wait, his penis through the ring, surely. Is that typed? That's typed incorrectly.
I don't
What
know.
what would put ring through penis mean?
Well, like, yeah, yeah, that's gotta be because it doesn't. Bangkok lol, Zafo.
However, the attempt to enlarge the private part turned out to be a horror as the man was rushed to the hospital after the metal ring got stuck. The next day, his penis started to swell and he experienced pain, obviously. He tried removing the ring, but in vain. I was terrified that I would need my penis amputated. It had swollen so much that I thought it would burst. He called the emergency services Saturday afternoon. The nut was stuck around the base of his private part since Friday morning. I love that it's a nut and not a ring because when we
Yeah,
call
I love
a nut,
the nut was stuck on my nuts.
and I'm like, "Wait, your nut? Which nut are we talking about here?" Though once the medics arrived at his place, he was rushed to a hospital. The metal ring was carefully sliced through with a metal cutter in an hour-long operation as the man cried with pain throughout the procedure. The ring had a diameter of 3 centimeters and was 1.5 centimeters thick. The doctors used a handheld steel tool, a pair of pliers, and a thin metal sheet to cut to avoid to slide under the ring and avoid the man's skin from being cut. The metal nut was
Woo!
removed without a scratch on the man's penis. He was prescribed antibiotics and anti-inflammatory cream to reduce the swelling. That's really scary because have you heard of crush syndrome before?
No.
Crush syndrome is when, like, let's say you get your arm stuck under a rock for like hours. When they
Okay.
release the rock, your arm has practically died. And then any like toxins or stuff that's built up in
Oh,
that dead
gets
stuff
released.
gets released back into your body and you die. Um, Luckily, it doesn't seem like it was that bad of a situation, but that can happen. That's the thing. Like that's why they said that dude 127 hours, the dude who got his arm stuck under the rock when he was like biking out in the wherever and didn't
Yeah.
even know. Uh, he they said he was lucky he actually cut off his arm because if he had been able to get the rock off after that much time, it would have just killed him anyway. By
Gross.
cutting his arm off, he saved his life in more than one way. He was able to get out of there, and for two, he didn't experience crush syndrome.
I so the planet we live on is so weird. I'm super excited we're on Mars, and I'm like, whoever controls Percy's little Twitter account is freaking adorable.
I need to read that. I didn't know he had a Twitter account.
It's adorable. They upload some of the rolls and stuff. Roll. Hey
Did you
baby,
like
like a
that picture
roll.
of Mars that I sent you?
Yes! Yes, and actually, like, unless you play the live and you realize how small everything was, I'm just like, but there's that's why like people go to Arizona to film Mars. I'm just like, because there's different places on the planet that look like different planets. It's so weird. Like our planet
Yeah.
is just zones of all the other planets put on one planet.
I told Stephanie I had tricked your mom, and she said you didn't trick her. She knows. And I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sure I got her. Pretty sure your mom thinks that's a real picture of Mars. Till Ashley chimed in and was like, oh yeah, looks pretty great. Glad you could be there. I need to post that in Discord or something so you guys can see. But there's like this cliff face. The way this beach had washed away in a certain part, it would look like a cliff face. I was like, I bet if I get close enough to that and you don't have anything in the image for scale,
Yeah.
I could trick somebody to thinking that's a beautiful picture of the cliffs on Mars.
It does. It looks huge unless you because he took the live. So if you
Yeah.
press it, but when the movement betrays its size somehow.
Well, and two, I left a little bit of ocean in the background just to kind of clue you in. There's a little bit of ocean water.
I didn't even notice.
See? Haha,
The
details.
Waters of Mars. That was a good Doctor Who episode.
I did not watch that because
That's
I've never
because
seen
you didn't
Doctor
play.
Who.
It's okay.
That's a look. You and me both know that's true. So
Oh, shut up.
we went through this already. Let's not dive back into that deep dark hole.
Let's talk about a different deep dark hole. I couldn't read this story. I don't say filthy words.
Why did your voice get tiny?
Huh?
Your voice got tiny.
Is it still tiny?
Yeah, it's better now.
What happened?
I don't know. It looked like you dropped your laptop and then everything exploded.
Oh well, great. That sounds awesome.
And now your video's gone.
Hold on.
Oh, and your voice is tiny again.
The Blue Devils?
I'm just impressed that we're doing a show while we're on vacation because I don't think we ever have before.
Impossible. How about now?
Oh, look, now you're far away again,
Okay, good.
and I can't hear you.
Oh, what? Don't panic. Tell Jacob to calm down.
I could see his. Hold on. The part of Steven will be played by me. What the devil is happening? Oh, great goobity gobbity. I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything wrong. Can you hear me now? Bah.
Can you hear me now? I think, you know what? I think this whole time you guys have been listening to me through the camera.
Oh.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I wiggled, I guess.
Well, yeah, everything exploded.
be.
And then...
Does it sound better than it's oh, yeah. Did I do it right? That's way hard. That's way harder to do.
Stealth.
I know my sounds. I ain't no dummy. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Does my voice sound better than it has for like the whole other half of the show?
You sound quieter.
Oh, I sound quieter. That's unusual.
I know.
No one ever tells me I'm quiet.
Same.
That's okay. Jacob
Same.
says it sounds good, so I'm whatever.
What the...
Whatever.
Jacob, are you gonna make me read this? You flaming butthole.
You don't have to. You could do what I do and fudge words.
No, I want to say it. This is dumb. Vagina-scented face masks are the hot new pandemic fetish item. I didn't say it.
You didn't. You got a lot more chances, though. It's okay.
For fetish item sellers, the pandemic is an opportunity for a new kind of item. Pussy masks.
Okay.
Cat, who sells panties and socks as well as masks on Sniffer. What?
What is a sniffer?
What?
What is sniffer?
I've been out of the porn game for too long. What? says she's been selling the masks for almost a year. I think people like them because they're able to enjoy fetish outside of their home. It's like a little secret only they know, and it makes it risky and fun. If your face smells like a vagina, it's not a secret. They get to walk around with a dirty little secret. They get to walk around with a vagina face. Like, I don't. Like, Jacob, when I wear a face mask, do you walk up and smell my face?
I think it's for you. Like, if you just want to be in it all the time, you can put the face mask on and be like, this smells like awesome. This smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's candle.
I get that joke.
This is exciting. Like, I wonder, do they have a mask that also smells like balls?
Jacob, why didn't you link the sniffer page? Like,
don't they have a mask
underwear.
that smells like swamp booty?
Wait. That actually really doesn't smell super. It smells like kind of fart gas. They like used underwear. The customization options for used masks are almost endless. I'm assuming the face masks aren't used. I'm assuming. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have Kelly in my head going, nope, you can't use that like that, or else it makes the mask seem used.
Yeah.
On Sniffer, a marketplace for selling used clothes, mostly underwear, for fetish purposes, masks sell for between $5 and $250, but on average, most are around $15. They come in a range of ways and places they're worn before they're sold. Wait, do you just shove the mask in your vagina? Like, so it isn't? What the fuck?
Oh, you actually put the mask up your hoo-ha there and then give it to other people? That's gross. that's not an effective.
I don't.
What? No, you can't.
Okay. Strapped to the inside of a thong seems to be the most popular, but feet stuffed into bras and faces are sometimes options too, depending on the seller. Disposed surgical masks are the ones most frequently posted, but people also sell simple cloth masks. Oh! 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 Not like a beauty mask, but a pandemic mask.
You thought they meant beauty mask?
Yes, Steven.
Oh boy, this definitely read different for you.
Oh my god, I'm like, why? What?
That's why you were so wondering about Jacob smelling your face when you had a mask on. You thought he meant mask.
What? Oh, baby's up.
No, the show's almost done. Tell him I want to
Jacob,
go to bed.
come finish this. Come finish this.
Ashley, I want to go to bed. No.
Ashley just told me that I had to go read Pussy Masks.
You have to finish the vagina story because we were so close to being done.
All right, where did she leave off? For fetish item sellers, the pandemic is an opportunity for pussy masks. Cat who sells panties and socks on Sniffer. Hold on, wait. Sniffer, is that like a thing?
Apparently so.
Do people go there and like request items from other people? Is that what that website's all about?
So,
Sniffer?
all right, look, I'm going to sacrifice my internet search history for this. It's 3 F's, by the way. Yeah, Sniffer.
Buy and sell used panties. It's a trusted marketplace.
There's nothing trusted about selling used underwear.
Oh my goodness, the picture, Steven. Juju Anonymous is posting pictures.
Gross.
Sweet Peach 69.
These are
Asian
not
baby girl.
Are you serious? Sweet Peach 60. Give me a break. That's like a 14-year-old who just got their Yahoo account. Like, what are we even doing here? Like, you can't.
Oh, Steven.
So, can I tell you a story about Sweet Peach 69?
Oh, please do.
I knew this guy. I went to a tech school because I was too lazy for 4 years of actual college and a computer science degree. And in that field, you meet people who are also in the myfreecomputercareer.com trajectory that are just like, I would like to be computers. So I meet this guy named Keith, and he's got like the spiky hair with the frosted tips when they were
Oh,
cool. Clearly
yeah.
works out. He's out propositioned me one day. He's like, hey man, I got a deal I'm doing. I'm selling this 180 energy drink. You heard of this stuff? Basically, he tried to get me into a pyramid scheme like day one to sell
Nice.
180 energy drink. Then he goes, did I ever tell you about the time I owned a strip club? I owned a strip club for a while. Me and a couple guys. It's a great business. Like, who are you? What is this that we're doing? And then he hands me his resume one day and says, hey, can you look over this and tell me if you think there's anything weird on it? He had listed his email address at the top. And I'm not going to tell you what domain it was, but the username was XXX porno pug.
Did you say porno pug? I mean, like a
Porno
pug
pug,
is
like
one of
the
those
dog.
small little dogs that looks like it's been kicked in the face one too many
Yes.
times, right?
Yeah, eyeballs pop out and stuff.
The
Yeah,
eyeballs are popping out. It looks like it's choking and it's being kicked all at the same time. It's one of the
yeah.
ugliest dogs in the history of dogs.
XXX porno pug. And he's at least 24, 23, 24. I'm 19 years old. And I'm looking at this going, Keith, I think you need to change your email address, bud. Like, I don't think this is going to do you any favors. And then I'm wondering what I'm doing with my life because I don't know if I'm even in the right place anymore.
You need to follow up with this guy,
I
porno
know.
pug.
I need to email porno pug and be like, how did things go? Because he ended up like flunking out or leaving or something. I
You
don't
need to
remember.
send a random email to them saying, look, I remember this email address because, well, how could you not remember it? You can't forget this. It's seared into my memory. But I
Are you
just wanted
still
to check in and see how you were doing. Did you ever change your email on your resume?
Did
Art
180
Steven.
energy drink ever take off? I
Or
remember
did
he
you
was
get
like,
enough?
dude, he was such a joke. He was a guy like it showed him a picture of Stephanie. Obviously, she was my girlfriend out of state at the time, so she might as well have been fake to everybody I talked to. Like, oh, she
Yeah.
lives in West Virginia. It's my girlfriend. He's like, how do you know she's not cheating on you, man? And I'm like, because that's not the circles I run in, you psycho. Like, she's just not going to do that. How do you know she's not cheating on you?
You know, I have a question. If people ask you that, does it mean that they are more likely to probably cheat on somebody that they're dating long distance, or is it just that they're truly that worried or that insecure?
I'd like to think that they are suspicious of it because they've been suspicious themselves of them doing it.
Yeah, me too.
Like I only don't trust people to do things I know I might do if I
Yeah.
was in a situation. And I'm not a cheater, and Steph's not a cheater, so I never suspected her of being a cheater. But he probably was, considering the other stories he told me. I'm pretty sure he didn't mind, uh, going and scoping out the other side of the beach or whatever. I
The
don't know
other
what I'm.
side of the beer. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? That's
yeah.
right. I bet he was seeking out a lady named Lacey Sniffs. Lacey Sniffs is the one who started selling the masks a few months
Good
ago
segue.
at the request of a client who bought her used socks. She sold 4 masks so far, 2 piss scented masks, 1 ass
Gross.
scented mask, and 1 foot scented mask.
Who wants butthole in their face all day? I don't want butthole in my face ever. Like ever.
I'm gonna put the mask up and it smells like a dirty, nasty fart that somebody
Just
else had in their underwear. That's exactly what I want, guys, out of my mask. We
no.
should do this. We should do a follow up on staring at goats just so we can have this conversation
Just
again.
we could have a more technical conversation about it. Because
We
that's
can
what I
talk
want.
about, I don't know, the poop particles in the mask that you're gonna be inhaling enough.
Yeah, we know that COVID lives in fecal matter, so I mean, this is gross. This is gross.
So then she apparently takes her masks and presses them against her vulva, her anus, and her feet for 24 hours. She wears
Look,
like panties for 24 hours, and then
you can get a fart smell on something way faster than 24 hours. You know?
apparently the one she urinates on it 3 times. She urinates on it, lets it dry, and then urinates on it 3 times. Does that cycle 3 times, and it costs $10.
This is the grossest story we've ever had on the show.
I don't really
This is
part
This is easily the grossest episode. No, this is
just it's too much. I don't.
how do you
I
wear
was
that?
chuckling putting this in the notes, and now I'm regretting the fact that I put it in the notes.
You kind of want to throw up a little. How would you do it if you had to strap a mask to your gooch? I'm trying to imagine how I would wear it so that it was on me all day while I was like chopping wood and working outside, hot
Oh
summer
God, that would
sun.
be so nasty. You'd put your balls in it, right?
You
and
would-
then and then you'd have like the two loops for the mask, one going up your butt, one coming up here, and then you'd have to figure out a way to tie them, maybe with zip ties on the
no, I've
side.
got it. I've
You'd have
got it.
two zip ties holding the.
Suspenders. You put the
Oh, there you go.
suspenders and you latch it to the loop, and then over your back, and you latch it to the loop under there, and you're basically like a cheap version of that weird Borat unitard thing.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it's perfect. You just have it, just you cradling your junk there
Oh, geez.
for everybody to buy.
Did you watch the new Borat?
I never watched the first Borat.
Oh, the first Borat was so funny.
I've heard
It
that.
is the stupidest, funniest movie. It's so bad, but yet it makes you want to chuckle when he does something. But I heard this one's a little bit more
This one's
what's the
more,
word for it? Over the top.
yeah. I mean, you kind of, where do you go from the previous one? How do you do it twice? How do you tell the joke two times? You know,
Yeah.
that's an event. I knew they were filming one because there were stories about strange things happening. That they're like, I'm pretty sure Sacha Baron Cohen was there. That dude, man, he's nuts. He's
Well,
brilliant.
yeah, he got his. I mean, they claim it was like a 15-year-old girl is his quote unquote daughter. I think it was. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
the details about it.
Yeah.
But apparently they got some pictures of her with Donald Trump's old lawyer, the one that he just recently fired, Rudy Giuliani.
He fired him.
I think so. I think he got rid of him. He did the whole "you're fired" bit, and I think he's trying to blame him for everything now.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just
You
keep
knew that
passing.
was coming.
You just keep passing it off. But back to putting masks in your crotch.
Do you
I
think you could go around for 24 hours with a mask strapped to your gooch?
Is that a challenge?
Yes.
What do I get paid? $10?
Well, hold
It
on,
seems like
wait.
it's what she gets paid.
It, hey-o. It depends on what are we going to do with this mask after you finish your 24-hour run with it? We're going to
Burn
send
it?
it to TV's Travis and make him wear it?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. What if we had an all dork host mask wearing butt mask? So like I'll wear it,
There's a whole lot
and
of
then
masks there.
you wear it, and then Travis wears it, and we don't make Ashley wear it because it just get weird. But us three pass it around, then you have the two dork legendary butt mask.
It's sold for $0 because everybody would probably burn it first.
We'll send it to the next Patreon subscriber.
There you go. How about this? I will be the first one to wear it.
No.
And I'll let you two figure out who gets the seconds and thirds.
I'll Rochambeau you for it.
Rochambeau, baby.
Oh gosh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Awful. Steven, that's awful.
It's a bad idea, but you know it's a good idea? Going
What's
to
a
sleep.
good idea?
That's a good idea. Getting out of here and going to bed. This half-hour power has been a good one. It's been brought to you by our wonderful patrons over there at patreon.com/2dorks. As Jesse, Og, Hammer Dwarf, Adam, and Christina of Geekheim, Oddly Normal One, and our parents, who all contribute to the show for one reason or another. I haven't figured that out yet. But
Well,
thank you.
now after our last WTF, we might lose.
We might lose some.
one, if not all of them.
Yeah, we might lose a few, but you know what? The news must be told. We have our integrity. We can't.
Unvarnished.
Yes, we tell the stories whether we make money or not. We're the only news source that does. So take that. You can also, hey man, if you want to find the show, look at all your favorite podcasting services. Leave us a review. Tell people that you listen to the show and it's great. Join us in our community. B- joined us earlier today. I think it was today. B- popped in. who's an old friend of ours from the old Morgantown days. He's a podcaster himself, also a rapper with a pretty great album out there, maybe two. I think Beehive has a couple. But yeah, so huge thanks for him joining the community over there at twodorks.net/discord. Pop in and hang out with us all the time. There's a lot of good stuff going on in there now. And we got a new Bean. Bean joined. Bean's a blacksmith. That was awesome. Which his stories, his stuff is really cool too. So hey man, that's what you should do. You should jump in there and you should tip us. twodorks.net/tip. If you just want to pass us a buck, say, hey, I really like learning about Sniffer. I appreciate you telling that story. That would be great. And we're going to leave you with these words of wisdom to take you out through the rest of the week from Bruce Feirstein. The distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success. Good words. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Bye. Dude, Arch.
We did it. We did it. Mobile HQ complete. I think Jacob just threw his laptop. That's what I heard. He threw it. We got it done, though.
Amen, brother. Got it done.
We got it done just in time for nighty night.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a CP. Vacation is fun, but vacation is also still a lot of work. Vacation when you don't have kids is relaxing. Vacation when you do have kids, no matter how many, is made more complex.
Oh, yeah.
And more busy. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have to kind of like sneak your back porch beer time.
Yeah, but at least you're getting the back porch beer time.
And that was nice. I did that today for the first time since we got here. I was like, Sam's occupied. I'm going to go sit. So I sat on the back porch, and I just looked at the water for like 15 minutes before I sent to Marco Polo, so I was out talking to myself, and Sam heard me, and he's like, hello?
Who's talking?
Where are you? Why are you not in here? I'm like, shoot, I've been found out.
Yeah, but you had good beer, so...
I ruminated. Yeah, I had a good beer, and I ruminated.
Nice.
It's good. I
felt very
fresh.
Cool. Oh, what'd you think of the remote control over here?
You did a great job.
I don't know about great, but I did a job.
I mean, what are we meant to? That sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, thought it was fine. We put together a show.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I think it's good. It was kind of fun actually being a producer.
Yeah, you actually drove.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Actually got to produce. And I was in your ear, and nobody else could hear me. I was like in God mode over here, and nobody knew.
Yeah, we just didn't have that thing where you're the director on CNN who's yelling, go to the next question! Go to the next question! Make them stop talking about that!
Wrap it up! Wrap it up! 10 seconds!
Wrap it up! I will eat you! Because that's what they do. They yell at those anchors all the time. I don't know how they concentrate.
No.
Some of the worst ones are when you hear like the hot mic ones, where the producer can be heard yelling at them, and they're live on the air, and for whatever reason the audio is going through, and you're like, dang, they're intense.
Dude, forget that. Nope. That's why I could never be like a newscaster or anything, because I would stop and listen to whatever somebody was saying in my ear. I'd be like, what? Hold on.
Yeah, what?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, world. Wait just a second. Let me finish listening to what's in my ear. Okay.
Yeah. That's not a good job. Between like national newscaster and air traffic controller sound like the worst two jobs that I could ever have.
Yes. Oh Lord,
like
yes.
No. The air traffic controller, forget it.
They like jump off of bridges on a daily basis, right? Because they're like the
Yeah.
highest rate of suicide in the world.
It's amazing because you're like, should computers be able to do this by now? Like, instead of just constantly chattering what airline is going where at what elevation and all this, like, or what altitude.
Yeah, but I
What
think it would
runway?
probably create a problem because multiple systems would then have to to communicate, and a lot of those systems are old,
Yeah.
so it would
Everything's
require
old.
everything being upgraded as well.
You
So
can't shut down a flight tower for a day and upgrade everything. Like, that
Zaphos,
doesn't happen.
yeah, and Zaphos said that pilots are way too, they're special snowflakes, so
Yeah.
you can't have a computer dealing with them.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days they'll just automate airplanes.
They'll automate airplanes before they will automate air traffic control.
The air traffic control will still be talking to a robot airplane.
Yes. At least then they don't have to worry about the plane doing something different than what they ask it to do, because the robot would just say, receive command, do what command says.
Right.
Whereas pilots like, man, screw you, you air traffic controller. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm a special snowflake.
Kelly said we need to do the titles. What are the titles for today?
I don't even know.
Let's see. No butt plugs until you've built trust.
Hold on.
Anal jet propulsion device. That one's good. Research, they call it. Standing meeting of nonsense. I like that. That's pretty good. Butt plug show. Scuba gear, B words. And fart mask or foot mask if you prefer. I can't decide which one of these I like best. I kind of like anal jet propulsion device and standing meeting of nonsense.
Hold on. Let me. I need to actually look at them. I like the butt plug show. That's kind of funny. I think I like standing meeting of nonsense. I feel like that's the right show title for today.
It feels like a good tagline.
Ashley, are you good with standing meeting of nonsense for the show title? Ashley agrees.
Hey, cool, man. We actually get called out at the bottom of Showbot TV now. Special thanks to Two Dorks TV and a bunch of other people for supporting Showbot.
Oh, nice. Now,
yeah, because I'm a patron of BioCow and Showbot.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, for not much, but I feel like I'm like, dude, this is an incredible service, and we use it for our show, like as an integral part. Like, I could give you $1.
Yeah.
It's just for putting in the hard work there. It's such a simple app, but it's so useful.
Patreons, that is what you are supporting. You are supporting creatives being creative and doing awesome things to help us make the show better.
Yeah, look at this. We're listed amongst Coverville, Brian Ibbett, and Good Day Internet, which is Tom Merritt and friends. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I'll take it. Thank you, BioCow. All right, man. You got everything you need from me?
I need to hit stop